Welcome to another episode of Let Us Cast. I am Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Good. Yeah, we're a little late starting this one because I was trying to look at my remote because, like, Rick and Morty was on my TV and shit, and we're like, shit, we shouldn't get a copyright strike on here. Fuck.
And I'm trying to get my sea legs here. I think I might have screwed things up on my end, too, because, like, not to have too much, like, inside tech talk or whatever, but it was, like, logging in and then making sure everything worked, and it was just, like, a freaking nightmare, but we're here. We made it.
It's a little too inside baseball, sir.
Yeah. But we made it, you know?
We made it. We found compromise.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So, there's a reason why, like, all this shit happened. I don't know if you want me to tell that story, because it's not like an inside baseball thing, but it's a little thing that kind of happened to me that I had to deal with.
Yeah, fucking go for it, man.
So, I've been working on recording all kinds of stuff, as I think you already know, and I decided that I wanted to try a new approach, so I downloaded some new software, not new, but, like, new to me. It's called Cakewalk, right. And for some reason, my computer just really hated it. Every time I installed it, like, it would completely freeze up, and it would just like, I couldn't use my computer. Like, it wouldn't boot up at certain points, and I was like, oh shit, is my computer, like, dead? Did I download a virus? Like, what did I do? So I had to restart, and I mean, like, reinstall everything on my computer like 4 or 5 times just to get it working, which is partly why I couldn't log in and shit today, because, like, literally, so basically what it does is it resets your whole system. It keeps all your files, but it deletes all of your apps. So even though all your settings are still there and everything, you still have to go through and reinstall all of your various apps and everything, and it's a huge pain in the ass. But man, after like the 6th try, I finally got it working, and now everything's good to go. Cakewalk is working, so I know I didn't download a virus or anything like that, but I was freaking out because I was like, oh crap, like, I can't afford to lose this computer, man. It's an expensive computer. I don't want to be just like, oh well, you know, no big deal.
It's fine.
Yeah. I bought this when I was trying to do my video production thing, so, you know, I put a pretty penny into it because I was thinking I'm going to need a decent computer for video editing, so it's not it's not a cheap piece of crap. It's a pretty nice, it's actually a gaming laptop, believe it or not.
Fucking A, man.
Although I don't really game with it, so then there's that. But yeah, okay. There's my computer saga for you.
Boy, what a fucking nightmare for you, huh?
Yeah, it was a piece of shit. But hey, made it through it.
Hey, you did, man. Man.
How about you? What's going on with your life? Hopefully no computer. Well, obviously you can't find your remote, but apart from that,
Well,
what's
yeah, I
going
can't find a remote. I think that's no. Like we said, we reached compromise on that one, so it's like, all right, cool. Found something that works. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like shit's been good and it's been bad.
Why did your list of contacts just come up on your screen?
What do you mean?
On Skype.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe it's on my end?
Yeah, it might be your end.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I was trying to add people to a call. What the hell? Sorry, dude. Okay. Continue. It was like, do you want to add someone? I went to your video and all of a sudden it's like, add to a call. And I'm like, what's going on?
How? I don't even want to know your thought process right now.
Oh, gosh.
I just imagine there's like a little old man like grabbing onto one of your last like fucking brain cells, just going, "Give me back my Pooh Bear."
Pretty much. I am like, I'm 38, but I feel like if you reverse those numbers, that's more accurate to how I actually feel a lot of the time. Like, what is this YouTube crap?
Yeah.
How do you use a phone?
No, I think if you add a 0 to the end of my age, I think then yeah, it's a little more accurate on my end.
Oh, jeez. It did it again. Freaking. I hate this. Go away with the add to call nonsense.
Welcome.
It's every time I switch to your shit.
Welcome to the wonderful world of every time I switch to your shit.
I'm gonna have to figure that out off air, but man, that's annoying as hell. Anyway.
Anyhow.
How are you? What you been up to?
You're a dick.
I like turtles.
Oh man. Yeah, not too much has been going on. I started the new job recently. Actually last week was the first week. Well, last full week, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it hasn't been too bad. Basically I'm a courier for a medical lab now, so I just run out, pick up like, blood samples and urine samples and all that kind of goofy horse shit, and bring it back to a lab to get analyzed.
That's not too bad, man. Yeah. You liking it so far?
So far, I mean, it's got its ups and downs, but
yeah,
like any job has its ups and downs,
especially the ladder business. But
yeah,
get it, ups and downs, ladder business. I'll go home now. Oh man.
Well, he tried to make a joke and it fell flat on its face, like it just tripped over a wire, and nobody laughed. And
would you prefer elevator business has its ups and downs?
Don't push my buttons, asshole.
I get it. Push buttons. Elevator. Ah.
Yeah. But no, man, it's it's good to like start earning a paycheck again and whatnot, and actually get this shit.
I'll get this shit.
Yeah, you might want to get a bag to get this shit.
Okay.
I love that. That's just like, I'm off.
Yes, I'm gonna get a hat.
To the back cave.
Yes.
So I'm still waiting on a disability check from my previous job, which my last day there was like the first day rather that I was gone was like May 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
I got let go from that job on July 6th, so fuck them. So anyways, I've been waiting fucking weeks to to hear back from them, just say like, hey, we retroactively restarted your case and whatnot, because like there was an incident where like my doctor was out of the country for like almost a month, helping out his family in the Philippines and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, when he comes back, I'll have him send that over to you. Okay, no problem. He comes back, sends it over and whatnot. They call me couple days ago, and they're like, "Hey, so there's a mistake on here." We're like, "Fuck, what now?" It's like, this is already a pain in the ass process. So like, well, it's nothing major. It's, we talked to your old job, and we understand you're not there anymore and whatnot. We just need your doctor to resend this one single page. Like, it was a 5-page document. Like, just resend this one page with a return to work date, because there was no return to work date on there. I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's it.
But it seems like a pretty small. I mean, I guess it matters though.
Yeah, it does matter, I guess, for like, whatever have you. But I don't know.
I hate when little things like that, like little red tape, gets in the way of like really important things. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about my saga with Evoqua when I went back to Evoqua?
No, you didn't tell me there was a saga with them.
There's a bit of a saga with them too. So I got rehired on and all that good shit, and I had worked there before, but there was a good couple months of a gap in between when I worked there and when I didn't, and when I came back again. And when I came back, there was a huge issue with getting my eligibility squared away for my health benefits, because they were like, "You were terminated back in blah blah blah." I'm like, no. That was before I left the job, but now I'm coming back. They're like, "Yeah, but you were terminated." I'm like, I understand, but I'm back now. So can I please have been? Well, you were terminated, and you're gonna have your boss. I'm like, God, son of a, I'm not. I'm back. Like, so like there was this whole like fight back and forth where they had like, they weren't sure if I was gonna have to create a new account or if I could reactivate the old one, and all this like crazy crap that I had to deal with just to be able to be eligible for health benefits. And thank God, like, they were able to get it like just in the nick of time, because they only give you like, I want to say it's like 30 days or something to get enrolled in benefits. So like after you get hired on, you have like 30 days to enroll. Otherwise, they take that as you're electing not to take any of that stuff. And I had already canceled my Mass Health, which I'm not even living in Mass anymore. So
Yeah, so
that would have caused a huge headache if I'm suddenly uninsured, and you know what I mean? So and
yeah.
they got it like just within like a couple days. I was able to log in and get enrolled and everything, but I was like, whew, like it was down to the wire. But there's this whole back and forth about like, well, you're not employed with us right now, so how could you be eligible for benefits? And I'm like, no, I just got rehired. Like,
but you were terminated.
yes, I was, but now I'm back.
I don't even like. I don't even get how they get like. To me, when somebody says, "Hey, you were terminated," it means you were fired.
Yeah, but that's not really how it works. So what they mean is like the job was terminated. So like whether I did it by my own volition or whether they did it, it doesn't matter. They still call that terminated. I was terminated. I terminated I cannot self-terminate, but I did. I lowered myself into the lava. Although technically, it was not me. It was Sarah Connor who lowered me into the lava.
You try all these impressions here, and you keep getting knocked down. And kudos to you for getting back up and shit. But I'm telling you right now, stay down. I will do the impression on this show. Thank you very fucking much.
Oh man.
It's like, it's like, I don't know. I almost feel it's like, wait a minute. We all agreed like the same language here. Like, terminated means fired. Quit does not mean that I was fired. It means I left the job on my own volition. I left, giving a 2-week notice, or I basically said, fuck this place, I'm out. Ha!
Yeah.
That means I quit. Terminated basically, like, to me, always means like somebody came to your desk and said, get the fuck out of here.
I guess.
Like, you don't work anymore.
But technically, like, if you read the paperwork when you sign a job, at least in the state of Massachusetts or wherever, it's like, you are an employee at will, and the job can be terminated by either party at any time for any reason. So that means that technically I terminated my own employment.
Yeah, it's bullshit though. Like, as far as
I know, I hear what you're saying.
I mean, Rhode Island's an at-will state too, and as well, and I think that's fucking bullshit too. And it's just a way for like a corporation to like cover their ass of like, well, we can fire you for any fucking reason now.
Yeah, it does suck.
Because like think about it. Like when we were growing up and whatnot, when we were like 15, 16, looking for our first job and whatnot, basically they needed to have a good reason to fire you. Like they couldn't fire you because like, oh, well, like he had perfect attendance, but he missed his shift on the weekend because he was in the hospital.
Right.
Now it's like, well, he had poor attendance. They can just shut it down that way.
Or they could even just be like, we can't afford to pay you, or like they can basically make shit up. Like they could do for any reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they have to have a valid reason that you have to theoretically prove, but I don't know. But it would be really easy to wiggle into that, to be like, oh well, we're firing you because of blah,
I know, but I mean, when you do blah at the office, I guess like, yeah, when you do that at the office, I get it. Like,
oh, I'm sorry, I got a blah.
Like, and why was Mr. Gates terminated? Well, he vomited all over his cubicle, so that eliminated a cubicle. So now our production is lessened now. So ipso facto, because he decreased our productivity, he is fired. Like, Mr. Gates, do you have anything to say in your defense? Like,
I puke again.
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Where's the shitter?
My me is sick.
My stomach was poisoned.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like that I don't know, that whole like, at will, like fire and hire at will kind of thing, like that always just fucking annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're gonna fire me with with a good reason. Like, I used to work at a Christmas tree shop years ago. This is back when I was like, senior in high school, freshman in college and whatnot. And I figured picking up a weekend job just so I could have some money coming in and whatnot. And basically I was working like overnights to stock the shelves. I was working from like 11:30 to 7:30 in the morning. Just stocking shelves, getting rid of cardboard boxes and whatnot. And it was fucking crazy in the sense that like they also said, hey, we want you to keep track of how many boxes that you open at night and fill out this report at the end of the night.
Why?
I'm like, I don't know. I guess they want to make sure, like, well, you kind of slacked off here. You're opening less boxes of these nights and blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, well, these boxes are bigger. But yeah, it was shit like that. And then, like, I go off to college for a bit. I come back and, I want to talk about, like, I can, like, work during the summer and whatnot. Like, hey, I'll work, during the week if you need me to, or blah, blah, blah. And the manager there at the time, she's like, oh, unfortunately we terminated you. But the thing was, nobody had fucking told me.
I was gonna say, like, were you gonna tell me that you terminated me, or surprise?
Yeah, like they didn't reach out to me. They didn't call the house and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Moss, like, unfortunately, like, Andrew's not showing up that much because of college and whatnot. We understand. We wanted to pursue his college education, but we need to hire somebody to kind of get this stuff done, so we're gonna let him go. Nothing like that. It was just fired, no notice at all.
That's crazy.
No notice, no reason, no nothing.
That's really crazy.
Oh, we just terminated you. Like, well, okay, fuck you too. And I think I've been in a Christmas tree shop like once or twice like since then, and that was like, God, 20 years ago.
Holding a bit of a grudge, are you?
Fuck you.
It's not Christmas all year round.
Fuck you. Fucking August.
Once a year.
Motherfucker. Nobody wants snowman standing in fucking August, motherfucker. Take your fancy plates, stick them in your ass. Motherfucker.
Do they have fancy plates? I know they have fancy plates.
They have decorative plates, yes.
Oh. Like for Christmas or like just in general?
Like just in general and Christmas and whatnot.
I think I've only been to a Christmas tree shop like a handful of times. It's not somewhere I frequent.
Yeah, it's not a place you really need to go.
No. I mean, I feel like whatever you could possibly need at a Christmas tree shop, you could probably get at like a Walmart or something. Am I wrong?
To me, Christmas tree shop is basically like going apple picking. Like, you're not going on your own volition. You're going because somebody else wanted to go there for something. You're
hey, let's pick apples. Hey, let's go to Christmas tree shop. Wah. My Christmas is sick.
My Christmas trees are sick.
Oh, man.
I did have kind of a weird thought though the other day where you and I were on the phone talking to each other about the Aerosmith concert and whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I kind of had a weird thought after that. I was just like, oh shit.
What?
I was like, I might run into some people I used to work with in radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Fucking Aerosmith. Like, they're going to be there, like,
I
fucking,
suppose
like, on
so.
a fat guy cake. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm like, shit. All right.
To be fair, though, it's at Fenway Park. Like, there's going to be
To
a
be
lot
fair.
of people. Like,
To be fair.
to be fair, good sir.
To be fair.
There's going to be a lot of people there because it's Fenway Park. And so, therefore...
To be fair. Anyhow. But yeah, I know it's an Aerosmith concert. It's Fenway Park, and obviously they're going to be all over there like fucking a fat guy on a fucking cake. I know. But I started thinking, I was like, fuck, like, how am I going to deal with that if they say hi? Like, you know, there are some people there, like, I still get along with them. Like, you know, Carter Allen, Kenny Young, Chuck Nolan, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, shit. Anybody from the morning show there, like, oh, fuck. Like, what am I gonna say if they say hi? Like, hi, fuck you.
You sure do hold a grudge, man. You're like, Christmas tree shop, ZLX, Allie's Donuts.
I got a list, bitch.
I can tell, man. What would you do if they say hi? I mean, here's an idea. Say hi back. Be like, hey.
I mean, I could also ignore them, just be like, oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
It's very loud, you know, Aerosmith. They're like, they're not playing yet. And you're like,
do you not hear Extreme in there? More than words, bitch.
I mean, I don't know. Just say hello, move on, be cordial, and then move on. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Cause like there was a chance to bury the hatchet, at least in my eyes. Can I tell you a quick story? I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'll tell you a quick story here.
See if we can bury that hatchet.
I'll bury it in your head, you numbskull. What did we say about impressions? What did we say about that?
Sorry, Andy, you're terminated for no particular reason from your impressions.
Wow, you hold a grudge.
Thank you for all your years of service, but no. That's a little bit of inside baseball. That's okay, though.
But no, here's the thing. Do I hold a grudge? Yeah, kind of. Because, you know what, man, fucking time heals all wounds, and, you know, each person is different as to how much time heals said wound.
Mm-hmm.
If I've been wronged by a place, i.e. Allie's Donuts, for example, where I was given a fucking guilt trip about going on a fucking vacation that I've been planning for a couple of years with friends of mine, you know, and then basically being asked, what did you do to deserve a vacation? Or, you know, what did you do to deserve 2 weeks off because you have to go to that wedding in Arizona next month?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tend to stay a little angry about that.
Well, I get you, but it's not good to. I mean, look at Bret Hart, man. Use him as your shining example. He took the bricks and he just set it down. And ever since then, you know, he's Bret. Still.
All right.
But to be fair, Bret is still kind of angry and pissy.
To be fair as well, fucking Goldberg ended his career.
Well, yeah.
I'd still be pissed off too, because that's millions of dollars that were left on the fucking table.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of waffled on that. It's kind of like over the years, like, I mean, not the fact that Goldberg ended his career, but whether or not he's like upset about it. Like, he's gone through periods where like he was pissed about it, and then where he wasn't, and it's just sort of like, I don't know. I love Bret, don't get me wrong, but he can be a little crazy sometimes about, or he waffles a lot. I'm like, you know, I'm pissed about it or I'm not, but, you know, he's still my favorite wrestler, but he can be a little inconsistent, that's all.
Oh, yeah, he's still one of the greatest to ever lace up a fucking pair of boots. I got you, but,
yeah,
you know.
He's a little inconsistent, that's all.
Still.
But yeah, still, screw Goldberg.
Yeah, still fuck Goldberg.
Yeah. Watch the kick. What kick?
Yeah.
Not cool, bro.
Fucking A. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, right. But anyways, like, yeah, but like everybody's different in the sense of like how they kind of handle things and deal with things.
Mm-hmm.
There was a chance, I thought, for the hatchet to be buried while you're picking your nose.
I'm not picking my nose.
You're picking your nose.
I'm not picking my nose. I'm rubbing my nose. It hurts.
Dude, you're fingering your fucking nose like a 12th grader on a fucking date.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'm not picking my nose, though, I swear. That's like I got accused of farting the other night, and I didn't fart. What the hell? What's going on? Why is everybody against me?
Dude, I'd rather be accused of farting than fucking picking my nose.
I didn't pick my nose, though.
You did.
You know what? There's no video evidence, though, of it, so there you go. But no, I really didn't pick my nose. Anyway.
I saw it. Anyways.
I saw it. Anyway. You dick. Just had to get the last fucking word in.
Hey, when I'm right about something. I will go to the grave about that. Like, that will be on my epitaph. Like, Bruce was picking.
Oh, you don't want to open up that can of worms about things you were right about. Let's not go there, man. Holy shit.
Here lies Andrew, beloved son, beloved uncle. Bruce picked his nose. Like, what the fuck did he put down his epitaph? Like, well, Bruce can't do anything about it now. Okay,
a little
like,
further down, like, I saw it. Damn it. It's irrefutable. It's carved in stone, literally.
What the hell? Like, why is Bruce mad? He's like, well, he can't do anything about it. What do you mean he can't do anything about it? He touches that gravestone and counts as vandalism. Son of a bitch, man.
The way
Like,
that scenario could be funnier is if like the headstone is not revealed and like everybody's standing around and shit, like I'm there and shit, and we're all like really sad, and then it's like they do this slow reveal of like pulling up a cloth or whatever to reveal. I'm just like, oh, what the? You ass.
So anyways, gravestones aside, so back when my dad passed away, I had gotten a message from one of the people on the morning show. She basically said, hey, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. And I said, thank you. I had told her about the the viewing and whatnot. I forget what they fucking call it. Like the viewing before the
wake.
The wake. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my mind's on other things right now.
Count that among the things you were right about.
Yeah.
Like picking my nose. Just add that to the list.
Hey, I saw it. Despite your lack of camera work, I saw it. So, anyways, I get a message back from her in regards to that, just going, the boys and I will make it a part of our day. Now I'm thinking like her and like the other two people from the morning show, like they maybe like carpool down, like come down, give their condolences, go home, whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
She apparently meant like she was going to bring her kids. So what happened next was, the wake happens and whatnot. I get pissed off at somebody else because it was one of my mom's friends who basically like, I'm just sitting there just going like, just in a fucking zone of just misery, just going like, what the fuck? And she goes, that's not your dad. She's over there. She's like pointing at my dad in the coffin. She's like, that's not your dad. That's just a box. And it took everything I had not to throw this woman through a fucking wall. Because like, yeah.
There are times not to say shit, and sometimes people don't want to hear shit like that, And again, like you were saying, like everybody's different, but like the last thing that I'm sure you wanted to hear was some like spiritual mumbo jumbo about like he's in a better place. Like, well, he should be with me, so don't give me that. Like, I hear you.
You think my dad would rather be sitting in a hole in the ground, or would he rather be with my mom, the woman that he fucking loves? Like,
right.
He's not in a fucking better place right now. Fuck you.
Right. Like Carlin had a whole bit about that I completely agree with. That like the people are trying to obviously be nice and everything, but at the same time, like, just think about what you're saying. People probably don't want to hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just express your condolences. Hey man, sorry for your loss. Give a hug. Move on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, Braden comes down to the wake. You and your ex came down to the wake.
Mm-hmm.
Like Braden stayed down there for like 5 minutes. He's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry I need to bounce, but the kids are sick." I'm like, "Dude, that's fine, man. Family first. Fucking hey."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "I know, but I had to come down and pay my respects to your dad. He was such a good guy to us." So I was like, "All right, man." Gave him a hug, went on his way. Still talk to him.
Yeah.
She, the lady I was texting, she doesn't show up. Nobody else at the station showed up. And I was like, to be fair, to be fair, I didn't tell anybody else at the station about that other than her and Braden.
Mm-hmm.
Now Braden got let go the same day that I did, so we haven't worked there in I don't know how long. But anyways, no shows, just total no shows.
Mm.
And then like a week, like the next day comes, and then a week goes by, and then a month goes by, and eventually, like I think it was like 4 months go by, and I meet up with Braden. We grab dinner. Like I was working at AAA at the time, and we went to this place to get some pho.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
And,
quick question.
Yes.
Because it matters a little bit. You'll have to remind me the timing. Your dad passed after you were gone from ZLX or before? Like, did he pass while you were still working there?
After.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, he passed away November of 2018, because it was like 4 years this year.
Yeah.
I got let go in 2014.
Was it November 13th?
It was, yeah.
You know why I remember that? Because I remember calling you because I was like, dude, guess what happened? I just got fucking fired from my job, and you were kind of like, my dad died, and I was like,
It's like
okay, you win. Like in the game of like who has the shittiest day, you win.
I have expected you to hang up and just be like, fucking show off.
Yeah, so that was crazy because it's like I lost my job, you lost your dad. It was a fucking horrible day, man.
Yeah, it was a really fucking horrible day. But fast forward a couple of months, I'm getting dinner with Braden, and the topic of the station comes up, and I said, yeah, I'd heard about, I'd heard from Heather, the news girl in the morning, and she said, yeah, we're gonna make it a part of the day. Like me and the boys will make it part of our day. And he's like, oh yeah, our kids were sick. That's what she told me. I was like, she didn't tell me a fucking thing, man.
And not for nothing, but Braden, his kids were sick, but he bombed down to at least, and like you said, it was a quick like in and out, but at least he showed up to be like, hey man, just wanted to pay my respects. I can't stay long. Kids are sick, but I at least had to come by. Like, maybe she couldn't get a sitter or something, I guess. Who knows? But like, I don't know.
Still, even like quick text messages like, hey, kids are sick. Unfortunately,
yeah.
If you need an ear to listen to you, like, you have my number.
Yeah, man.
After Braden told me that, I fucking blocked her number. I blocked the other two guys' numbers. I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. And I felt fucking foolish for thinking that, like, you know what? The hatchet could be buried in that sense. And like, since I got let go, I listened to that show twice. Once the day after I was like the following Monday from when I was fired, because I got fired on a fucking Monday or a Friday rather. And then I saw Braden post up on Twitter that he was going to be going on the morning shows, like podcast, like after show kind of thing. I was like, no, man, I'll support him. Fucking A. But yeah. Interesting shit when like you find like a birthday card from them and one of them says, happy birthday. Thanks for not shooting me in the studio. It's like, did you really think I was going to be a fucking gunman and bring a fucking gun here?
Yeah, I remember you, like, didn't they say something about that on air too? Or like they made a joke about that and you got kind of pissed about that too, I remember.
Yeah, dude.
Was that the episode that you listened to where Braden showed up? Was that the same one?
No. This was one where, like they had talked about like how he was let go, and they're like, oh yeah, they let go of the other producer that day too. And Braden's like, oh yeah, he says hi, and they're like, oh yeah, I bet he does.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there listening, going, oh fuck you guys too.
Because not for nothing, like I happen to know. I mean, I only know what you told me, but from what you've told me, like you did an awful lot of stuff for them, man. Like you kind of busted your balls for that show.
Yeah, I did.
Like you did a lot of stuff that, as far as I know, went very unappreciated.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. There were like little like rewards here and there and whatnot. Like there was one time the two main guys on the show they said, hey, we're gonna go see Don Rickles down at Mohegan Sun. Do you want to go? I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go see this guy. Fucking Dirty Work was awesome. So we go there and we crash at the other guy's place in Framingham. Go fishing the next day. You know, it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the news girl was hired to read a couple of commercials and whatnot. She was getting paid for it. And she asked me to edit them. And I said, yeah, sure, and whatnot. You know, recorded, you know, her doing a couple variations of the ad and whatnot. She slaps $100 on the desk for me. I said, no, I don't want you to pay me. I want them to fucking pay me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there were little rewards every now and then, but like including my internship, I was there for over 5 years, and I never made more than $10 a goddamn hour.
That sucks. I mean, I've heard that like radio money is nothing, but at the same time, like you were traveling from Rhode Island to Massachusetts 5 days a week.
Dude, there were some times where I'd be in 3 states in one day.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I would start the day in Rhode Island. I would go intern at ZLX in the morning. Then I would have to drive down and either bring a change of clothes with me or manage to actually stop at the house and, you know, have time for a shower or whatnot. And then go down to my job in Mystic, Connecticut, setting up
yeah.
Oh.
You know what? It never dawned on me that you were doing that job at the same time as ZLX.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And then I left that fucking AV job when they offered me the fucking what do they call it? The call screener position. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm doing more than screening calls though, right? Like I'm booking guests, I'm writing shit for the show, I'm supervising the interns, I'm helping with podcasts, I'm helping edit, you know, bits together and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm getting audio for the news, I'm getting this, and that. Like I'm doing shit that a producer does. Now,
and yet when they referred to you on air that time, they called you a producer, but did you ever actually have the producer title, like legit, or
like nobody like really bestowed it upon me. I put it in my email and whatnot, so it would look, you know, better towards like booking guests, not like, hey, I'm a call screener for this morning show.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird.
But I was like, all right, you know, I just put associate producer. That was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just like, so after, you know, the whole Wake incident, I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done.
It's kind of a lack of respect thing at that point, especially like because, you know, like you pointed out, how long does it take to send a quick text message if I can't make it? Or like Braden showed up even though his kids were sick, you know, like you can work around it, or if you can't work around it, then just send a quick, like it takes literally 3 seconds. Hey, I'm sorry I can't make it. Something's come up, whatever. Boom, yeah. Send. Like how long does that really take?
Yeah, and like I would have understood like. You know, the day after, I would have even understood like a week after.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, sorry, things been a little hectic. Kids were sick. Just wanted to, you know, send you out a message. That I would have understood. It was over 3 fucking months before I had heard anything else about that situation. I was just like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
And I know there's somebody out there watching this that's probably like, well, you know, the phone works both ways. It's like, well, yeah, it does, but
the ball was kind of in her court at that point.
Exactly. Like, like the ball was in her court. Exactly. That's why I love you. You come up with these things when I have a fucking brain fart in the middle of a sentence.
To be fair.
Nice. Thank you.
We need a third person to harmonize, man.
I'm telling you, man. You gotta watch Letterkenny.
Apparently. Anyways. Is that what that's from? Is that where you're doing that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do they harmonize like I just did?
Yes, they do.
Okay, yeah, we definitely need another person then.
They have 4 people.
They have 4 people? Oh, crap.
4 people.
4?
Yeah. 4?
4.
Yes, 4. Like a golfer, yes.
Oh, I should have yelled 2.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I just said, you know what, man, enough is enough. Like how fucking foolish am I for like holding on to like that little fucking thing of like, you know what, this hatchet could be buried and whatnot. Because the last time I had seen them was the day I had gotten fired. And it was just quick pop into the studio. Like, you know, I couldn't even say anything because I got choked up because I'm like, fuck, my radio career is over already. Like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just hand wave. And it was just, thank you. That was it. Like they sent messages afterwards. Like she didn't, but one of them sent a text message saying, you know, I hope, you know, somebody finds your loyalty, you know, more of an asset than this, you know, than this station did, and blah blah blah. Another one sent a voice message saying, you know, I didn't think it was going to go down like that. And I'm like, all right, so you fuckers knew about it and didn't think that I had the character to like still show up even if I knew I was being fired.
What do you mean? Like they're under the impression that you knew it was coming and that you showed up even though you knew like you were a dead man, so to speak?
No. Like they knew that I was going to get fired and didn't say anything. No, I don't know if it was like the higher ups basically told him like, hey, you know, don't tell him that he's being fired, but we're gonna go let him go on Friday, and that'll be that. So we, you know, we're done with him. Whatever.
They probably weren't allowed, to be honest.
Probably weren't allowed, but it's still one of those things of like, you know what, man? Even if you told me like, hey, they're gonna let you go on Friday, like, okay, I mean, I still have a job to do until then. Like, I was raised better than that.
You could have probably at least mentally prepared for it a little bit better.
Yeah, I could have mentally prepared for it a little better, you know. And, you know, little notice to those guys, if you wanted to meet the person that, you know, fucking taught me how to work like that, you could have said your proper goodbyes to him.
Mm-hmm.
Must be nice, right? Assholes. So, if I see the morning show, I'm just going to keep walking. Just say, you know what? You had your fucking chance.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the chances are like infinitesimally small, but I mean, with the amount of people that are going to be there, I mean, they might have a booth or something set up, but yeah, I mean, if it's that harsh for you, just walk on by.
Yeah.
Quote Aerosmith, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if it's one of them, still the people I still talk to and whatnot, like, hey, how you doing, man? Fucking yeah, shake your hand, no shit.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. You didn't think I'd be here, did you? Fuck your morning show, man.
Oh man.
But yeah, if it's anybody else, like, yeah, I'll say hi to him and whatnot. But if it's like anybody from the morning show, I'm just gonna be like, you know, gone.
Yeah. That's hard though, man, because I mean, I'd like to think that at some point, like all these various grudges, including ZLX, I'd like to think that at some point you'd be able to put shit in the past and move on, because like, I don't know, it's really it's not good for you psychologically to be carrying around that kind of bullshit. It's just not.
It's not, but like, I want to keep remembering them so that I don't forget what I've learned from them, if that makes any sense.
Sure, but that doesn't have to come along with it, the baggage of you know, being angry at them either, you know.
No, but still, it's also like, you know, if I see them and they're like, hey, how have you been and whatnot, like, you don't know. Like, you talk to this guy, you've never tried to reach out to me in all the years that I was let go. You never tried to reach out to me.
But now if they did try, you've blocked them, so it's not like they can actually reach out to you.
Well, yeah, to be fair, like, their phone numbers were already blocked. To be fair. Anyway. So, yes, to be fair, yes, their numbers are blocked. But they were blocked after that incident. Like, a couple of months after that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What would it take for you to unblock them to give them the chance to reach back out to you? Because, I mean, yes, you could be like, oh, well, you guys never tried to reach out to me. But for all you know, they have tried, but they're blocked. I mean, I'll be honest, I doubt that is the case, given how they've, you know, talked about you, it seems, you know, over the air and whatnot. But,
yeah.
Like, well, so my question would be, like, what would it take for you to unblock them, basically? Time? Like, just more time would have to pass, or is it just not on the table?
Probably not on the table anymore.
Wow.
It's just, yeah, it's not on the table anymore. Because, like, I'm sure you've had people in your life that have done something to you that just absolutely pissed you off, and you just said, you know what? I don't care how much time passes. I don't care to associate myself with this person anymore.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
in a way, but at the same time, like if I were to run into them and I saw them and they were cordial to me, I wouldn't be like "fuck you." I'd be like, "Hi." I wouldn't go any further than I had to with. So okay, my example would be Mike, who was the guy who fired me on the day that your dad passed away. And so I'll tell you a little backstory on that real quick. Can I tell you a quick story? I'm going to tell you a quick story. Ready for a quick
Yes.
story?
Quick story.
Here's a
Tell
quick
me
story.
quick. Oh, go
All
ahead.
right. So the way I got fired was we used to have UPS come around like 4:30 o'clock in the afternoon, and we would have to load up the truck with all the boxes and stuff. There was not like a dedicated person to load up the UPS truck. So
No, this is the place where you had me, like, I drove up for that job interview, right? And I was the only person that showed up early or something like that. Does
I
that
think
medical?
so. I think
Yeah.
so. It was a medical place in
Yep.
Billerica.
Okay. I remember. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
specializing in
I don't want to
traffic.
say the name, but yeah, it was a medical place in Billerica. It's still there.
Yeah.
My mom still works there. So it was myself, my mom, another woman named Melissa, and this dude Brent would normally work there, but Brent was out that day, right? So it was basically me and these two women who were both my mom's age. And we had these big, huge, tall systems that would have to go out. They were a little bit shorter than I am. I mean, you know, I'm about like, I'm not a tall guy or anything. I'm about 5'4", but these things would go up to about my shoulder height. So they're goodly tall, and they're also pretty heavy, okay? So we would have a couple of those that would have to go out. And so we had a couple of those and then our usual other boxes and stuff that had to go out. And it was getting around time for UPS to show up. And I knew that Mike wanted to sit down with me and the CEO of the company, Lee, to talk about some stuff. And so sure enough, I had prepared a report for it. And he comes around 4:30 and he's like, "Hey, Lee wants to go sit down and have a chat." I'm like, I can't right now because it's like UPS is about to show up and look at all the stuff that has to go out. I don't want to leave these two to have to do that. Like not, you know, not being like they can't do it, but like why should these two have to do it on their own? Like I should be around to help or whatever.
Not only that, but like more hands make less work.
Right, right. And again, like it's heavy. So yes, you could have these two like older women packing up the van or like me, a young guy who like, you know, is less likely to hurt himself or whatever could help out. Like it just didn't make sense. And like the week before we had this really outrageously long meeting that ended up going nowhere. That's why we had to have this follow-up meeting is because we didn't get enough shit taken care of in the previous meeting. So here I am, he's approaching me with what could be like another hour-long meeting and UPS is due to show up any minute. And I was basically like, no, I can't because the truck is coming. And so like he said, well, you know, he basically ended it by like he wanted me to come and follow him or whatever. And I said something under my breath about like something to the effect of like if it's anything like last week, like whatever, something like that, like it's gonna be too long. Or I said something snarky under my breath that I don't even remember. And he turned back around and he goes, "What was that?" And so then I said it aloud to him, and he's like, you know, and I had the report in my hand at that point. He's like, "You know what? Give me that." And he like snatched it out of my hand and he walked away, didn't say another word. And I was like, okay. So then I come in on Monday. I come in a couple days after because I think the 13th wasn't it like a Wednesday or Thursday. It was like the middle of the week or some shit. It wasn't.
I think so.
It wasn't like a Monday or two. Anyway, so I ended up working another couple days. He doesn't say a word to me, and I sent an email being like, "Is everything cool? Like I know we had that incident on Friday, but like you haven't said word one to me." Fast forward, like, what's up?
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday? Okay, so I think I worked like that Monday, and he didn't say word one to me. And then sure enough, I get a call into a meeting with HR on Tuesday, and they're like, "We're letting you go." And I'm like, "You little fucking weasel." So, like, I was pissed at him because, first of all, I thought it showed a huge lack of backbone to let those two go out and do that kind of level of physical labor on their own, knowing that I'm around to do it. And to do it that late in the day, like, I don't know, I just thought it was really shitty of him. And then to let me go because he didn't have the balls to just come and be like, "I don't appreciate your attitude," you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. So, yes, I'm not a big fan of that asshole Mike. But if I were to see Mike and he were to be like, "Hey, Bruce, how's it going?" I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" And because, like, I don't know. I just don't have the energy in me to care about that kind of shit anymore. Like, did it suck? Yeah. But, like, better things have happened to me since then, and that guy is not going to piss in my cereal. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I get it. Like, yeah, better things have happened to me, you know, since then. I mean, you know, tough climb to, you know, to get out of, you know, after your dad passes away and shit.
Of course.
But it's still, it's like, you know what, man? Like, shit didn't need to go down like that. Like, I thought I was in better standing with you guys. Like, yeah, I snapped at one of you guys, like, weeks before that, because again, I was skipped over for the fucking producer role when Braden left to go on vacation for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next logical, even Braden was telling me, he's like, look, the next logical choice should have been you, because you work with the show, you know what's going on, you know what clips to get, you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they brought up a producer from the fucking Sports Hub again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just it really just infuriated the fuck out of me. It still kind of does and whatnot, but like, it's like Jim Cornette said, hate is a hell of a fucking motivator.
That it is, but it's also not necessarily healthy. That's all I'm saying, man.
Not healthy, but god damn, it's fun sometimes.
I mean, I could be kind of pissed off about, the whole breakup with my ex. That's a little different though, because like I kind of like it probably should have happened before, but like when she dropped that on me, it was like, okay, you're right. And there's plenty of things that I could be mad at. Like she has the cat that we got together, and
Yeah.
it was not inexpensive, but I don't have any resentment about that whole thing, which, not to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of proud of that fact that I don't look back and go like, oh, I'm not like shaking my fist at her. It's like, yeah, it happened. I moved on, and now I've got Steph in my life, and her daughter Kimmy, and I really love hanging out with them. They were actually over here last night when I got accused of farting. So but like it's been awesome, man. So like that's what I mean. Like I could choose to be pissed about what happened, or I could just be like, you know what? That's what happened. Move on. Just legit farted. Just keep moving on with the things. Like look to the future, not to. It's like what Kevin Smith would say, and I don't think he was the first to say it, but like you could either choose to curse the darkness or you could light a candle. I tried very hard in my life to light the candle because I've spent a lot of time cursing the darkness and it didn't really get me anywhere. So
no, but just the thing with ZLX, like with that whole situation, anytime I felt like I was trying to light a candle, like when I was working at that station, like try and look on the brighter side of shit, it always felt like there was something in the darkness that was reaching out and going, like just extinguishing the fucking candle. It's like, what the fuck, and try and light it again, extinguish again. Like anytime I thought I was getting ahead a little bit, it was like, no, get back here, back here.
Like you didn't even have brass rings to grab because they wouldn't dangle them out for you.
They didn't even show me.
Or they put them just out of reach.
They didn't even bring the brass rings out to show me that they had brass rings for me to try and reach for. Like even to just put them like 100 feet up on the fucking ceiling or some shit. Like, see, you can reach for them. Reach for the brass rings. We have them. It's like, where are the brass rings? Oh, we have them. Don't worry. Where?
I mean, I guess you could feel. I mean, ZLX still exists, but I think you could feel a little bit better about the fact that radio, for all intents and like, it's dying, dude. It's going the way of the dodo fast.
Yeah, like it is fucking dead.
Yeah.
Like terrestrial radio, yeah, it is fucking dead.
It's sort of like the whole like DVD, like any sort of physical media, like that's pretty much dead too. Like DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, all that kind of stuff is just like when I release my music, I'm not gonna do it like. And my buddy just released like a limited run of like 10 cassettes, which I thought was really cool that he did 10 cassettes. But he did literally 10 cassettes. He's like, I'm not doing any other physical release of this. This is it. And my favorite band, the Murdochs, they did a similar thing when they released their album 3. They're like, we're not doing any physical release of this. It's just going to be on Spotify. Because there's no point. Nobody buys physical media anymore. Like, certain things are just dead now. Now that we have everything online, there's no point to owning shit like that. And now that you have things like Spotify and YouTube and these other platforms, like, radio kind of doesn't make sense anymore either.
No, radio doesn't make sense anymore either. Satellite radio doesn't make sense anymore either because you're essentially paying to hear uncensored radio, which that's pretty much the only draw for it.
Right.
Spotify, like, I wish they would fucking pay the artist more, but I mean that's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
But as far as like physical media, like I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong in one aspect of it, in the sense of if you look at like sales of like vinyl records, like those have been going up.
It depends. It goes up and down. Vinyl has its moments. Where it goes. Are you picking your nose again?
Yeah, I'm picking my nose, Bruce.
Picking your nose? Well, I got it on video now. I saw it, and I got it on video. But no, like vinyl has its moments where it ebbs and flows. Like I was actually talking to, I only recently went. There's a record store literally down the street from me, like a minute away, and I went there for the first time like last week or the week before, and I bought myself a Rush record, an import. I was like, hell yeah! I almost didn't buy it, but he's like, you're probably not going to see this anywhere else. And I was like, fuck, you're right. So I bought it. And,
Sebastian Bach would be proud of you, sir.
yeah. So but even he and I were talking about like it's so weird how vinyl like kind of does this up down like in the 70s obviously was huge, and then in the 80s it kind of went down, in the 90s it was still kind of down, but in the 2000s it kind of came up and had a resurgence, and it just kind of does this weird up and down thing. Like it's I think it kind of goes hand in hand with nostalgia. The more nostalgic people get for old formats, the more it comes back. No one's ever really gotten nostalgic though for VHS or stuff for that to come back any like heavily enough, but
but in the sense of like as far as records, like the reason record sales were declining is because that's when like CDs and cassettes were coming out and they could add more songs to it and shit.
Well, not only that, but the fidelity was a lot higher.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, you could also, you could take, there was also like they were more portable.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And they put decks in cars so you could play it in your car now, and no way you're gonna be playing a record in your car.
No, that'd be fucking awesome, but
it would be kind of awesome. Yeah, you hit one speed bump and like that ends that.
Well, god damn it.
Guess I gotta buy a new copy of Kiss Destroyer. Shit. That speed bump just destroyered my destroyer.
No, I wouldn't worry about it. Peter Criss already beat you to it. Yeah, man, fucking. But yeah, man, like the fucking like records and whatnot, like you think about it too, like nowadays, like they're able to do more with like vinyl records and shit. Like they're able to make like different variations of them. So like now you have like the clear vinyl, the exclusive red vinyl, or it's almost like an artwork in that sense.
Yeah. I did that. I'm very guilty of doing like getting multiple copies of records for shit like that. Like I used to have 3 copies of Bleach for different reasons, because like I had an extended version that had 2 extra songs, but it was on black vinyl. I had the regular version on black vinyl, and then I had one on white vinyl.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And now I've got like I went and bought the hot pink version of Olivia Rodrigo's record. Like I'm all about the colored vinyl. I love it. Nice. It's awesome.
Yeah, man. Like there's always a gimmick to kind of get me with these things. Like the Miles Kennedy. Like I bought the CD and the vinyl of Ides of March.
Yeah.
And like I bought the vinyl because they're like, hey, Best Buy exclusive. You buy this, you get a free autographed thing in there. I'm like, fucking score.
I did that with Ben Harper and Charlie Musselwhite. They released No Mercy in This Land, and I'd already bought it on vinyl, which was like a thinner. Yeah. And then they were like, we're gonna release an autographed copy on 180 gram vinyl, which is thicker, which so it means it lasts a little bit longer. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna play it anyway, but screw it, I want it. Like I want the autograph. So I have 2 copies of that too, like the regular version and then the 180 gram that's autographed.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that stuff too, man.
Yeah, I am. Like,
well, the thing is, like, we're kind of like collectors in a sense, and I think that's the one difference in why this stuff has lasted. Is there are people out there who collect stuff, because they want, like, especially with vinyl, like, you get a nice big thing of the artwork. Like with CDs, it's a lot smaller, right?
Yeah.
But like, if you get think about like what was the Kiss album that has the drawing, like the hand drawn cover? I think there's more than one.
What do you mean?
Was it Destroyer? Wasn't it Ken Casey or someone who did it?
Ken Kelly.
Kelly.
He did Destroyer and Love Gun.
Okay, so think about like having that in a CD format and then having that as a vinyl format. Obviously, the vinyl's going to look a lot cooler because you can make it larger, right? So,
yeah. If
you're in it for the artwork, vinyl wins out every time.
Holy shit, dude! I have 2 fucking records like hanging up right here. Like I have that picture disc of Kiss Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits that you got for me. I got that autographed by Bruce Kulick.
Nice.
So that's hanging up in a frame right now, and then I've got a copy of Love Gun hanging up on the other side of the wall over here. autographed by Peter Criss and Ken Kelly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hell of an artist, man.
Yeah. I feel bad. I butcher his name every time I mention him. That's why I try not to mention him, because it's like Ken Christopher. Like, what was that? Ken Christopher.
Ken and Barbie?
Ken and Barbie? Ken Shamrock? He did art, right? Yeah, with his fists.
Yeah, like in a ring, yes.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, fucking hell of an artist. Well, I'll ask you this, man, since we're on that topic of us being like collectors and whatnot. What do you consider to be your most like prized possession, like collection wise?
That's tough.
Yeah, bitch.
That's really tough. Because I mean, I got some cool shit. I've got a Spinners baseball that was autographed by Mookie Betts when he was on the Spinners.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, I've got the picture that, thanks to you and Liz, I've got the picture that I took of Bret Hart that he signed. Like, that's I think I'd probably have to pick that. Would probably be my prized possession, because not only did I take the picture, I met the dude and I witnessed him signing that. Like, that's kind of like, you know.
I think I still have the video of like me telling you like, hey, we're here to meet him, and this is what we're gonna have him autograph for you.
Do you really?
Yeah, just you're like, what?
What?
Yeah, like, dude, you looked like you were about to like pass out in a sense. Like, what?
Like, dude, I'm prone to fainting. What are you doing?
Just put you on the table. Like, Brett, could you autograph this? He's a big fan.
I wake up, I have Bret Hart signed across my head. Like, oh man, what happened?
Oh man.
I legit will never forget that day.
That was awesome.
That was crazy.
Yeah, grab.
Whenever I tell the story too, I'm always like, and you know what? I was wearing like the rattiest stuff, like my clothes, because you were like, oh yeah, I need help cleaning and I bought it hook, line, and sinker, the whole cleaning story. I felt like such an idiot after, because it sounded so reasonable. It's like, oh yeah, he's got to clean his basement. All right, so I'll wear like, you know, my grungy Rush t-shirt that's got holes in it and like paint on it and stuff. And I found like the worst pair of jeans that I had with like rips in them and stuff, and my worst sneakers, because I'm like, I know I'm gonna get dirty, so like, what does it matter? And then you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go over here and over here and over here. And I'm like, and then it's like, oh, you're gonna meet Bret Hart, and I'm like, I look like a homeless person. Hey Bret, I'm a big fan. Yeah, well, you stink. Get the hell away from me.
You smell like Goldberg's career. Yeah, man, that was definitely a good day, and like the fact that I actually used that line on Chris to take him to meet Ric Flair, that was even better.
Apparently you're really good about like convincing people that they're there for other reasons, like
pretty much.
You sneaky little bastard.
Yeah, hey now, you motherfucker.
Yes you are.
But yeah, man. Truth be told, man, I actually I talked to your girlfriend Steph over Facebook Messenger, and I was like, hey, I know we've never talked before in person, but
she told me, actually.
Yeah, it's like, hey, so Bruce told me you're a fan of Disney movies, and I told her about Comic-Con, and I sent her like the pictures of people that are going to be there. I'm like, so you guys are coming down, right?
Yeah. What did she say?
I don't think she gave me an answer like yes or no if like you guys were coming down for it or not, but
yeah, we still got to talk about it. She was mad excited about Little Mermaid though, because I was when you were telling me about Beauty and the Beast, and I told you that that's her favorite Disney movie, I was half expecting her to like lose her shit about Belle and Beast being there, but she's like, I want to meet Ariel. I'm like, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, explain? She was like, well, everybody knows Ariel. And I was like, I don't know who played Ariel, but okay. And I was like, but you like Beauty and the Beast? She's like, yeah, but Ariel. I'm like, okay.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, to be fair.
To each their own, all right.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. I love that. That's awesome.
Telling you, start watching Letterkenny.
I'll have to. I still have to watch Holliston. You gave me that Blu-ray, and I haven't seen a single episode of it yet. I gotta watch that too.
I think you'll like it. Like I think. Does your girlfriend like horror movies or no?
No, well, kind of. I mean, she loves Halloween, but she used to not really be able to watch them so much. But now she seems to be. She told me that she's getting better about watching them. So
Okay, yeah, I think
she
she
just
would
doesn't
like.
really dig like slasher flicks.
She'll half like it.
She'll have like what
Yeah,
Holliston? Why is there slasher shit involved?
I mean, it's like a tribute to like slasher films and whatnot.
Oh,
Like,
is it really? I didn't know that.
yeah, there's like, well, no, there's like tributes to like slasher stuff like all over. Like they make jokes about that kind of shit and whatnot.
Hmm.
Like Adam Green and Joe Lynch, they play these two guys working in a TV station in Holliston, Massachusetts, and like their dream is to become big time horror movie directors. And the movie they want to direct is about like a zombie team of soccer players, and they call it shin pads,
Hmm.
which is the fucking worst idea ever for a horror movie.
It
But
really is, and like
committed,
legit the worst title too.
yeah. So, but yeah, there's like little like nods to things everywhere and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I think she would like it. It's basically like horror themed, like if Big Bang Theory was like horror themed.
How do you wait? You said
That
you haven't seen Big Bang Theory.
I've walked by the TV a few times while other people are watching. I'm just going, how the fuck do they watch this shit?
See, I'm surprised you don't like it. I thought it would be right up your alley.
Dude, Chuck Lorre can go fuck off.
Oh man.
Like like my god, to write an episode of a TV show with that bad of humor, it's just like
Are you talking about Two and a Half Men?
2.5 Men and Big Bang Theory.
But you haven't seen. You don't. You got to watch Big Bang Theory before you can say it's bad. I see. I didn't think I was gonna like it either. My mom was telling me a bunch that like I remind her of Sheldon, and then I watched it. I'm like, I'm nothing like Sheldon, but I thought it was funny. I wasn't looking forward to watching it though initially. I gotta say, I was like, ugh, I don't know. Like everybody loves. I tend to like whenever I hear that like people really love a show, it's like, oh my god, like Game of Thrones or whatever. It's like, oh my god, you gotta watch Game of Thrones. I'm just like, or Breaking Bad. Although I have to say, I might actually check out Breaking Bad because James Rolfe did a review on it fairly recently, and he talked about how much he loved it. And he and I have fairly similar opinions on things as far as movies go. So I might have to check out Breaking Bad. But generally speaking, whenever I hear the show is like really popular and a lot of people love it, I tend to go hipster on it and go like, well, I ain't gonna watch it.
Yeah. I don't know, like yeah, because I've never seen Breaking Bad. I've never seen Better Call Saul. I'm kind of in that same kind of fucking boat in that sense of like everybody's saying, "Oh my god, this is so good, this is so good," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, great." The funny part is like after Game of Thrones, like anybody you ask, like, "Oh man, is Game of Thrones worth it?" Well, it was for the first couple of years. And
Yeah.
it was like dog shit to them, and it's like, okay, they really didn't have any material to work on. This guy's still writing like the last book of the series or something like that, and HBO's like, no, we got to get it out, get it out.
Yeah, I mean, with I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, so I can't say anything about that. But I've heard that Breaking Bad is worth the watch. And like that one, although that one I've heard that like you got to get through the first season because the first season is kind of like people. Even James was like when he first watched it, he's like, I'm not so sure, but then he's like, by season 2, you're like, okay, I'm in.
Because like the last show where I was just like, holy fuck, I gotta watch every fucking episode, like with like people that were in that same boat was Weeds.
Oh
and
yeah.
After season 3, I was just like, fuck, I can't take this anymore. I did that. Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, I tried Orange is the New Black too, and I agree. Weeds up to season 3, awesome. After season 3, it just got way too over the top.
Yeah.
Like it was believable for a little while. I was able to suspend my disbelief for a little while, but then when it like she had all those people, I think it was at the end of season 2 or 3 maybe, where she had like all these people pointing guns at her, and then like I was like, there's no way she's gonna weasel out of this, and then she does, and it's just like, I mean, you knew it was gonna happen because otherwise the series kind of comes to an end, but like, too much. It's too much.
It's too much, but it's also like you really think about it, like the only like really like funny part of that show was fucking Kevin Nealon. Like that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking treasure is Doug.
Although my favorite line from Weeds is still like the maid. I forget her name, but Kevin Nealon and someone else sitting on a couch with a coffee table between them. Hey, what do you call the thing between the dick and the asshole? Coffee table. Well done. Well done.
Well played.
That is, like, in my opinion, or the line about the Prius, which I forget, one of like the drug dealers or whatever. He's like, I love having my new Prius. It's so quiet. It's perfect for sneaking up on motherfuckers. Like things like that is what I appreciate. The show itself, though, kind of eh.
Like the funniest thing I think Kevin Nealon did though was the town was like taking a vote on something. I can't remember like what the hell it was. I think it was like city councilman or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a sewage pipe just like explodes, and there he is just like dancing around it.
Yeah.
And shit. Like fucking brilliant. Fucking love you.
Oh man.
But yeah, but like after a while, it's like, okay, I can't suspend my fucking disbelief anymore. Like I can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like a show I'd gotten into like a couple of years ago was Smallville, and the reason I kind of stuck with it was, not only is it a fucking Superman show, but like the criticism of it, which valid at the time, was like, every episode is like it's a freak of the week kind of thing. It's not telling a story, and it's like you kind of go back. And like I started watching it, and like there would be like little things of like a story that were planted like through each of those episodes, and it would just eventually build up to some like a bigger episode. It's like, all right, so I have to pay attention here.
So it was like planting seeds throughout, kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
That's cool. Supposedly, like that's what Breaking Bad does. Is like things you think that are inconsequential become much more important later on. So yeah. I kind of like that. I kind of like that you have to pay attention to get like the most out of it.
Yeah. But I mean, as well as like as far as like the both of us are concerned, like, not 100% sure about you, but I'm the kind of guy you could dangle keys in my face, just like, hey, here you go, like, cool.
Sometimes.
Look, Superman keys. This is the best fucking show ever, man.
I don't think I am like that necessarily. No, like it's there's things that I like, but just because they're things that I like, if it's about it, like for example, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. But like if it's a bad Spider-Man movie, it's a bad Spider-Man movie. Like I never saw the Andrew Garfield films because I've heard people say like they're horrible, and so it's like okay, well then I'm good. But I'm not gonna go see it just because it's Spider-Man, No.
It's like I saw them because I was like, all right, they are Spider-Man. And as far as like the second movie, I was like, all right, the first one was pretty fucking bad, but hopefully they kind of got their shit together, and maybe they learned from it. Like, let's go see, did they learn from it? Walk out of the theater, fucking nope.
They did it again.
Yep.
Man.
But as well, like, with the Tom Holland series, like, you walk out of each one of them, you're just like, they fucking get it.
Yeah.
Like, they know this character.
Yeah, see, in my mind, Tom Holland is Spider-Man. If you want a good Spider-Man flick, put on the Tom Holland stuff. That's my opinion.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Because not for nothing, but he's a good Peter Parker and he's a good Spider-Man. Like, it's very hard to find someone who's good at both. I've heard that Andrew Garfield was an okay Spider-Man, but a really shit Peter Parker. Maybe I have it the other way around. And I feel like Tobey Maguire was a pretty good Spider-Man, but a really horrible Peter Parker.
See, I thought he was a better Peter Parker, but a bad Spider-Man.
Really?
Him and Andrew Garfield were like the mirror opposite of each other. Like Tobey Maguire, I thought he was a good Peter Parker, but he wasn't a good Spider-Man.
Why is that?
Well, because like you read a Spider-Man comic, like he fucking cracks wise every now and then and whatnot. Yeah. He never fucking did that. We got lines like,
that's true.
It's you who's out, Gavi, out of your mind. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. Who got
paid to write this?
Yeah, that's true.
Who is the person that got paid to write this? You're both fired.
I just don't look at Tobey Maguire and think high school kid, and I think that's what a lot of people forget is that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is supposed to be a high schooler.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to look like he's in his 20s or some shit. He's supposed to look like he's less than 18.
No, but I mean, to be fair as well, like they could also just say like, hey, this is going to be a Peter Parker from a different universe. He's going to be going to college instead.
He's gonna be 80 years old. Gobby.
Dude, did you watch Into the Spider-Verse?
No, I've heard it's amazing, and I still haven't watched it yet.
I have it up on my Vudu account. Watch that with Steph. I think you'll both like it. It won a fucking Oscar for Best Animated Feature. So
Oh, okay, all right.
There's that. But like, dude, it includes like versions of Spider-Man. Like, why the fuck does this version exist? But they fucking like steal the show in that sense.
Is Spider-Pig in it?
Yes, Spider-Ham is in it, voiced by John Mulaney. So there you go.
Nice.
Spider-Man Noir is in it, voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Oh shoot.
Here you go.
Okay, yeah, that's a must-watch then.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's like there are right ways and wrong ways to do these kinds of movies, and like thankfully they've learned their lessons. I kind of wish they would learn their lesson with Superman movie, but
yeah, they don't really seem to be able to get Superman right. I think the closest we got was Christopher Reeve.
The first two Christopher Reeve movies, in my opinion, just
perfect. Yeah.
Nailed that Superman character of that time. Yes.
Yeah. But we haven't gotten a good modern Superman.
No,
because those movies were made. When were they made? Like late 80s, early 90s.
Because
they were like legit, like the first superhero movies to come out that actually like anybody cared about.
Yeah, like You'll Believe a Man Can Fly. You're like, damn right I can.
They're right.
Well, no, the first one came out in 78.
Was it that long ago?
It was 78, I think.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
Let's see.
I thought it was like the early or late 80s. Or so somewhere in the 80s. Like somewhere within that decade. But I mean 78's close, but
yeah, it came out in 1978. How about that?
Wow.
Superman 2 came out in 1980.
Okay. So, that's crazy.
That's crazy, but it's like, you know what, man? They nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed Superman.
They really did. Yeah, like not everybody, or at least anybody who grew up with those movies, like Christopher Reeve was your Superman. It's sort of like, who's your Batman, right? For me, it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Because that when I was a kid and I saw the movies, like, that's my Batman, you know? That's my Batman!
Yeah, but going by that same logic too, it's like, well, okay, Tobey Maguire is your Spider-Man.
I suppose.
So it's, you don't really, sometimes
you're saying my argument doesn't hold water, much like my picking nose argument. I get you.
No, you picked your nose. I saw it.
No, you make a fair point though about like you're right. Like theoretically, well, I mean to be fair though, like those Tobey Maguire movies didn't come out when I was young.
Yes, they came out when you were older.
They came out when I was older, and I didn't really have. I mean, there was an animated Spider-Man like in the '90s, but even then I was,
I mean, there were a couple,
and there was an animated Spider-Man back in like I think the '70s or '60s.
Yeah, with Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah. But like I didn't really watch that stuff so much, but
no, there was that. There was the Spider-Man cartoon that was in the 90s that was on Fox, which is good.
I think that's the one I'm thinking about.
I think that's the one you are thinking about.
Because they did like a video game about it too, where like you could make comic books and stuff out of it and stuff. It was pretty fun.
Oh
and
shit!
They had an X-Men one too, and then if you got both, you could actually like interweave the two and have Spider-Man and X-Men in the same thing. It's pretty badass.
Nice.
Yeah. You can make like mini movies and stuff. Although the one thing I hated about that game is like you'd watch the demo and their demos would be like way better than anything you could ever come up with. And you're like, how the hell did they do that? Like they're cheating, the bastards.
Yep. It's like we wrote the game. We know what the fuck we're doing.
Exactly.
So before we end the podcast, I'm definitely going to ask you about this. So Warner Brothers has like this new guy in charge. I forget his name, but he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's a fucking cockknuckle.
Okay.
Here's my reasoning. So they're canceling the Batgirl movie that was supposed to come out with Michael Keaton again reprising as Batman.
Oh shoot.
They spent $90 million on this thing, and they're just like, no, it's canceled. We're not going to show it anywhere.
Why?
don't know, because they said, well, I think we're going to cut back on like superhero stuff. And I'm like, you spent $90 million on this fucking thing.
You could have given it to me. I mean, shit.
Yeah, like
I'll produce a Batgirl movie for $90 million. I mean, I don't know the first thing about doing it, but I'll try.
And yeah, and not only that, but like I was like, all right, you spent $90 million on this thing, and you're gonna fucking pull the plug on it. And like Kevin Smith made the point, he's like, look, even if it's shit, he's like, still you can make that money back in ticket sales, like going through the theater.
Yeah.
You know.
Or with merchandise, like think about, so one thing that people like forget about comic book movies is like, even if you don't make that much at the box office, which nowadays is kind of laughable because you will make a lot at the box office, but even if you don't, there's merchandising, you know? Like think about like all the little girls out there who would like see a Batgirl movie and be like, I want a Batgirl, you know?
Yeah.
Or a Batgirl T-shirt, or a Batgirl lunchbox, or a you can put, I mean, we know from the 90s, you can put a bat symbol on just about anything, including shaved into the side of your head. So like, it's endless.
Here's my question though. Apparently they're still on track to release the Flash movie, even though they spent like about $150 million on this, and it seems like pretty much once a month, Ezra Miller is getting arrested for alleged shit.
Who is that? That's getting arrested?
Ezra Miller, the guy playing the Flash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't release any reason as to why Batgirl got canceled at all. Like, we don't know.
No, so as far as I know, they didn't have like an official like reason as to why.
Do you know if they started like any pre-production or actual production on it, or?
Oh, yeah. There are stills of like Michael Keaton in costume, like on like a rooftop set, like talking to Batgirl.
So they've shot some stuff for it.
They shot some shit, yeah.
That's crazy then.
Yeah. So that's fucking crazy. But like, no controversy with that movie, but they're still going with the fucking Ezra Miller Flash movie. Like, as far as we know, it's still like on schedule to be released and whatnot. And like, the thing is too, like, you know, if you make a movie like that, like you send out the star to do like a couple press junkets to talk about the movie and whatnot, like, what the fuck are you gonna do with Ezra Miller then?
What has he been getting in trouble? I don't even know the dude. Like, I don't even know who he is. Like, what's he been up to? Like, what's the problem?
Well, first off, they pronouns, pal.
What?
First of all, pronouns, pal.
Why?
They.
What do you mean they?
That's their preferred pronoun, Ezra Miller.
Oh, is he are they what? Are they transgendered?
Yes. As far as I think I may be wrong on that one, but I believe that's the case. I at least know their pronouns are they, them.
Okay.
So, yeah, let me see if I can bring up a whole fucking list for you here. Okay. So, like, let's see. Ezra Miller. Okay. So here's an article from NPR that just came out a couple of days ago. Vermont State Police have charged the actor Ezra Miller with felony burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. This is the latest in after months of arrests, charges, and allegations of assault and grooming the actor faces. Miller, who
grooming, as in like, because usually that term is used for like pedophiles. Is he like trying to like fuck little kids, or are they trying to fuck little kids?
Thank you, sir.
And let me ask you this real quick: like, why do we give a shit about what their pronouns are if they're a piece of shit? Especially, they can go fuck themselves right in their ass. How's that for the right pronouns for you?
I'm pretty sure you could run for senator at this point.
I could what?
I'm pretty sure you could run for senator at this point.
Why? Because this guy's an asshole?
I mean, there's a party for it. Let's see. Miller, who lives in Vermont, is perhaps best known as Flash in the Warner Brothers DC superhero franchise. The Flash's own solo movie is still yet to be released in 2023, even as the studio has canceled a number of nearly completed movies such as Batgirl. So here we go. In March of 2022, Miller was arrested in Hilo, Hawaii, and charged with disorderly conduct and harassment after an incident at a karaoke bar where Miller allegedly got agitated at a couple for singing the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper song "Swallow" or "Shallow."
It's a pretty big difference there, dude.
Either way, Hey, I saw their chemistry at the Oscars. Either one works.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
A month later, Miller was arrested again for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman, injuring her forehead. In June, two parents, Chase Iron Eyes and Sarah Jumping Eagle, obtained a protective order against Miller for allegedly physically and emotionally abusing their 18-year-old daughter. This is according to court documents seen by both TMZ and the Los Angeles Times. Petition reportedly accuses Miller of giving the daughter alcohol and drugs and says Miller displayed cult-like and psychological manipulative behavior. Later that month, the Daily Beast spoke anonymously with a 12-year-old and their mother, who had another protection order signed by a judge. The family, as well as a neighbor, alleged that Miller came to the family's home in Greenfield, Massachusetts, home field of Penn Jillette. Little fun fact.
Let me just throw that in there. Just so you know, Penn Jillette lives there.
Penn Jillette grew up there. And began yelling at them about cultural appropriation. Miller then returned to the family's house multiple times and allegedly made the child uncomfortable by hugging them closely. Let's see. A mother then spoke to Rolling Stone about living with Miller in Vermont with her 3 kids, saying Miller helped her escape a, quote, violent and abusive ex. Sources alleged to Rolling Stone and the property was littered with unattended guns and bullets, and there was frequent marijuana use in front of the children. NPR has reached out to representatives of Miller for comment, and it doesn't look like there has any been response there. So, like, you have that laundry list of shit that happened in less than a fucking year.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is like, how long did it take for all this stuff to take place? But the answer is less than a year. He's throwing chairs at people, you know, abusing kids. Like, that's pretty screwed up, man.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know why his movie is whatever. I don't understand why Ezra's movie didn't get canceled why didn't that get canceled I'd much rather see a Batgirl movie than I would a Flash. I've never been a fan of the Flash though, so I'm a little biased, but I've never understood people's fascination with a guy who can just run really fast. Oh boy, like.
Well, I mean, here's the thing too. It's like, you know, Flash is like one of like the main like members of the Justice League. Like, you think about like
care. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Let me make my fucking point here, sir. If you want to be a dick, I'm pretty sure there's a job for you at ZLX waiting for you.
Or I'm pretty sure I could throw chairs at people and, you know, borderline molest children, just like Ezra here.
And, you know, you get a $150 million movie.
Apparently.
So, kind of lost what my point was going to be.
You're saying he's a main member of the Justice League.
Sorry, Flash. So, like, yes, I would like to see a Flash movie. Would I like to see a Batgirl movie too? Fuck yeah, I'd like to see a Batgirl movie. You know? Because there is room for both of those heroes. Like, you can have those movies. Like, especially, I think it was, supposed to be Nathan Fillion, or was it, oh God, what's his name? Fucking Brendan Fraser, I think, was actually supposed to be the bad guy in the Batgirl movie. He was supposed to play Firefly.
Oh.
So, hey, deep reach there. Fucking A.
That's pretty awesome.
I'd fucking watch that, man.
Yeah, and I agree. There is room for both movies. My thing is, like, here you have an actor who's doing some really shady stuff. Their movie doesn't get canceled. Then you have no particular reason for this movie, and it gets canceled. It's like, did the chick who played Batgirl do something wrong, or did they do something wrong? If maybe they're, I don't know, what the fuck do I know? Like, it's sort of a double standard, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And me personally, I just personally would much rather see a Batgirl flick than I would a Flash movie, because I don't give a shit about Flash. I never have.
No, I like the Flash and I like Batgirl. You know, I have no problem with like either fucking hero like getting their own fucking movie and shit.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Like, with Batgirl, like, you've already spent $90 million on it. Like, as far as I know, like, all the shooting was done.
Yeah, and just throw it away.
Yeah, and you're just like, nah, fuck it. Like,
must be nice to be able to just throw away 90 mil. Yeah,
how fucking nice would that be, huh? You throw away $90 million. You don't even give two shits.
That's insane.
That's fucking insane. Like, dude, $90 million. I could build my own like subway system to get around town, like my own private subway system. Like, how badass would that be?
That would be pretty badass.
Yeah, that would be pretty badass. Like, just, like one of the cars just like have a fucking hot tub in it.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, how fucking dope.
And you could have like a sandwich shop, so you could have a sub on the subway.
Bruce, we talked about this. Like, we talked about this. HR wants to see you on Monday morning.
Thank you for your years of service, but
thank you for your years of lack of service.
Thank you for your years of terrible impressions and even worse jokes.
But no, it's like, okay, if you guys are willing to throw away $90 million fucking dollars, how about this? you can quote throw away more fucking money by getting rid of Ezra Miller in the Flash movie and replacing them with somebody else, like fucking the guy that's playing the Flash on TV right now, fucking what's his name, Grant Gustin. Like, I think he would do a damn good job as the Flash. He's fucking killing it right now. Like, they're making they're gonna make a 9th season. That's gonna be it for the show. But
if it's already been shot, like, can they really do that? I mean, the other thing they could do, right, with this Flash movie is, like, technology is pretty impressive right now. Like, have you seen like deep fakes? You know what I'm talking about? So you could do like a deep fake on it and have it be like, I mean, obviously you have to get their approval, but it could be literally any other actor in the world.
Dude, Captain America, the first Avenger, like, they did that shit with Chris Evans in the sense of, like, they
really
put his head on a scrawnier fucking person's body.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. I didn't know they did that.
Well, yeah, because when they were training, like, the whole Steve Rogers going through training camp and shit, like, he was supposed to be a smaller soldier. Like, we put Chris Evans in there now, like, dude's fucking giant.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, why are we giving him the fucking serum again? But no, they, like, digitally put his head and his face onto a smaller actor.
So there you go. There's your answer for when there's controversy, is you just do a deep fake. I mean, you'd have to do that for the whole movie, so is that convenient? No, but would you rather that, or would you rather have the movie be associated with a dickhead? It's up to you.
Dude, how much money did Paramount go back and spend to fix Sonic the Hedgehog?
Exactly.
Like, was it a fucking ball breaker for the special effects department? Yeah.
But they did it, and look what happened.
Yeah,
you ended up getting a sequel. I'm damn Skip. You would not have gotten a sequel out of that movie if they left it the way it was. It would have been laughed out of the theaters.
Dude, it was already laughed out of the internet.
That's true.
But, like, not only that, like, yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Not only did they get a sequel, they're getting another sequel, and they're getting a spin-off TV series on Paramount Plus focusing just on Knuckles.
What?
Yes, that is happening.
I still have to see Sonic 2, by the way. I have so much crap I have to watch. It's not funny. I mean, I have to just, like, sit in a chair, like, strapped down and just, like, you know, watch a bunch of stuff. Be like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like how Steph sit there with, like, a droplet of water, like, dink, dink.
Yeah.
This is amazing! So that's, yeah, man. But I was like, all right, if you guys are willing to throw away $90 million on a movie that's pretty much finished, and not willing to throw away $150 million on somebody who's, like, been doing a bunch of shit like this, like...
It just doesn't seem very logical.
Yeah. Well, like, there's articles now, like, oh, Warner Brothers is weighing their options right now, and it's like, you know, I have no faith that you guys are going to do anything. Yeah, I have no faith that you guys are going to do the right thing and just say, hey, you know what? We're going to, like, go back and just digitize another actor to replace Ezra Miller because this is not acceptable.
Okay, so I just pulled it up, and apparently 2 days ago, here's an article from People that says Warner Brothers likely playing wait and see with The Flash amid Ezra Miller scandals.
Yeah.
So apparently it may very well get the kibosh. Warner Brothers likely weighing its options when it comes to whether The Flash will see the light of day amid rising controversy surrounding its star Ezra Miller. The 29-year-old actor who uses they them pronouns has already completed filming the DC project, which reportedly cost an estimated $200 million so far to make.
Okay, so more than 150 million. Okay.
Yeah, it's currently supposed to hit theaters June 23rd, 2023, though a string of compounding legal troubles in recent, that's a gentle way to put it, legal troubles in recent months for Miller may affect the film's release. Good. Yeah, I don't know. I'd feel very weird about releasing that movie, especially because, like, you know, among the prime audience for that movie is going to be children. Like, children eat up superhero movies, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of person you want to have as a role model for kids.
No. And
So.
and yeah, but like as well, like just as well, like going back to like the whole Batgirl Flash movie like thing, like here's the thing too. Where are you going? Sit down. Sit down.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just adjusting how I'm sitting.
Sit down.
Relax. Relax.
Ow, pal.
Relax. It's all good.
No, here's the thing too, is like going back and really thinking about it, like these movies could be better than we think, than we know that they are. Like for example, like they're like, hey, we're gonna make a movie with Batman and Superman in it. Like, holy fuck! Like I've been waiting since I was a kid for something like that. That's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the movie. It sucked. Justice League movie. It sucked. And if you had told 12-year-old me, like, hey, when you get older, they're going to have a movie where Batman and Superman are coexisting together, and they're going to have this giant movie together, and that's going to start up the Justice League. That's great. Yeah, the only problem is you're going to like the Aquaman movie better than that. Like back when I was a kid, like nobody fucking cared about Aquaman.
It's true.
Like Aquaman was a goddamn joke. So, I mean, as far as that goes, like shit, like I have been proven wrong on these things about like whether a movie's going to be good or not, but like Jesus Christ, man, like fucking Batgirl could be fucking phenomenal. Yeah, it could also be trash. Who knows? But fucking release.
Yeah.
And as far as like the Flash, like yeah, when I was a kid, yeah, I would have loved to see a Flash movie. I like the Flash. I don't like Ezra Miller, but I like the Flash.
Right.
And that was going to be another movie with Michael Keaton as Batman.
He was going to be in that one too?
He was going to be in that one too.
Oh, man.
So that should further kind of piss you off a little bit.
Yeah. I would love to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. Obviously not as like, you know, crime-fighting Batman, but as like the from like Batman Beyond, where he's like the older Bruce Wayne and he's passing the torch. Like that's what I want to see, you know?
See, my hopes were they were gonna like get positive, like before the whole Ezra Miller thing. Like I was hoping like they were gonna get positive stuff, like positive feedbacks on you know his portrayal as you know Bruce Wayne Batman, and that was going to lead to a Batman Beyond movie.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Where like he's playing fucking Bruce Wayne and whatnot. Like I'm like, all right, you know it's gonna be kind of tough to top Kevin Conroy. Maybe you can just get Kevin Conroy to be Bruce Wayne, but.
How about this? Okay, hear me out. This is kind of weird, but let's. Michael Keaton plays Batman, Bruce Wayne, but you replace his voice with Kevin Conroy. You're like, you're stupid.
Hey, there's no way that Costner would allow that shit.
Costner?
Yeah, not Kevin Costner. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
I was like, when did Kevin Costner play Batman?
Well, Kevin Costner wouldn't allow it either.
He sure wouldn't. Go back to Waterworld.
You know what? Fucking Kevin Costner to be the Flash. That's it. Case closed.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Dude, you know what would be even better though? Like you see the screen pop up and it's, you know, modern day and whatnot. There's in front of the back computer, you see like you hear somebody typing on the keys and shit. And it turns around and like you just hear this voice go, "You ready, Terry?" And you see a guy pulling a mask on. It's like the new Batman. It's like, "Damn right I am, boss." He flies off and just pans over to the right. And there in the chair, you see Al Pacino as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, God. I don't know about that.
Ooh-ah, go get him, kid. Like, hey, boss, this guy's getting me a bit of a trouble here. I want you to go over there. I want you to kick his ass. I want you to kick his ass so hard, future generations are going to feel it.
Bruce, I can't fight crime today. My horses are sick. Oh, you don't mean Terry Funk. Oh, sorry.
No.
But Terry Funk plays... No, I'm just kidding.
Terry Funk is the Flash.
Yeah. I can't run today.
My knees are sick.
Oh, man.
All right, that's going to do it for us this week on Let Us Cast. Bruce, you got anything to plug, man?
No, except for fuck Ezra Miller.
Well said, and I'm going to second that. Fuck Ezra Miller. So that's going to do it for us this week. I am Andrew.
I'm Bruce.
And we'll catch you guys next week or whenever our schedule allows.
Yes.
That's just pretty much how life is working nowadays.
Yeah.
But,
Shit happens.
Shit happens. Shit happens. And then you go on to the next day and you see what happens the next day. Chances are it's going to be shit again. Actually, before, I'll share something with you off the air, but